And that's our bibliography that we can see we have checked very a lot of websites. And that's Imanshi's bibliography. And thank you, sir, for your attention and have a good day.
So good night. Today we're going to talk about veganism versus regular diets. So, well, first for the introduction, we have some few points that we would like to discuss. The first one is, did you know that only 1% of the world's total population was vegan in 2009? This is according to a study carried out by Aksara University in Turkey by the Department of Tourism and Gastronomy. Predictions say that if diet continues, probably it will increase to 1 every 10 persons. And it's also important to mention that veganism is when people do not consume any type of products that come from an animal or that have been tested on animals. Changing from a standard diet to a vegan diet may be a drastic change in your life. There are different diets to follow, and some of the most common are vegan, vegetarian, and regular diet. So we're going to speak a little about them, and we're going to make an analysis of these three for us to have a better understanding of what they are about.
So now we're going to talk about vegetarian. So, but to start, what is? You have to define what is. It is a dietary regime that has the principle of abstention from meat and fish and is based on the consumption of cereals, mushroom, fruits, vegetables, and the person who practices this type of diet, it is known as vegetarian. But we have to understand what are the things because people decide to choose this diet. It's like to start, it's more healthier. I think if we see that several studies have shown lower hemoglobin levels in vegetarian children. But what is important of iron is because our body uses iron to manufacture hemoglobin, a protein in red blood cells that transport oxygen from the lungs to different parts of the body. So in meat, we have in iron. In plants, we have non-heme iron that it's not absorbed very well in our body and the environment. Vegetarian diets use the least amount of water, and that dietary change can reduce water consumption by 50%. That's a really good, interesting percent, but this percent is because we are going to reduce all the process, like feed the cows and all the things. So we're going to reduce and the other one, economy. It's like in addition, the economy could affect poor communities and GDP in developing countries. That's because the meat is very consumed in all the world.
So now vegan. Well, basically, veganism is what I have already said before. Well, today it is known that many people consume this type of diet either for different reasons, such as health or avoiding animal abuse. First, in economy, according to Brian CJ in 2019, he mentioned that people think that being vegan means being healthier, but the truth is that you became low in some vitamins provided by meat in many cases, such as my partner was just saying about hemo iron. According to Steve and others in 2002, vegan diets are cheaper. Vegan diets, considering only food that we prepare, are more than 30% cheaper than a standard diet. For example, there are some products like texturized soy that they are used in some um, manufacturers that try to make similar things to meat, and they are cheaper than meat. Also, according to Rossi and others in 2017, is it healthier or not? Well, they said that they made up a study and they showed that vegan diets trend to have far lower carbon, water, and ecological footprints than those of meat or fish eaters. Why? Because they have really low carbon emissions and they are good to mix the carbon on the soil. For example, these crops like corn or sugarcane.
So we have the last diet that is the most popular in all the world. That is the standard diet. It's like it's a regular diet. It's a healthy eating plan that includes a very variety of healthy foods from all the food groups. You can follow this meal plan if you don't have any health conditions that require a special diet. But let's start. We have to understand the world consumption of meat in all the world. It's like meat production has a great potential for a growth and for pulling other sectors of the economy along with it. The multiplier effect generates this of a very significant magnitude. But to start, if we can see this graph according to file by 2023, the increase in meat consumption will be greater. Because of this, is the standard diets are of great economic importance for our society, as they represent a great source of work and increase in the economy of a community. That's really interesting to in these days. And we have like is moral culture. Meat is a food very well utilized by the human organisms because it's almost completely digested, a very good percent. So that's the importance of eating meat. This meat is almost completely digested. The same also happens with the consumption of viscera, such as kidneys, like heart, and is very well utilized by the organism, not only for their mineral and vitamin content, but also for their high quality protein content and environment. So we have this graph that's really interesting to talk about it. As we can see in this graph, the livestock sector contributes significantly to total human emissions of greenhouse gases. To this must be added other emissions indirectly related to livestock activities such as those caused by deforestation, the transport of goods. And the livestock industry is one of the most damaging to the planet in terms of pollution and water footprint. According to the United Nations, one of the most effective actions to reduce climate change is to reduce meat consumption. And to finalize the conclusion, the environmental impact, it's like biologically, our body demands animal products. Our feet are designed to be able to tear pieces of meat. Also, our body takes better advantage of animal nutrients. But it's that we cannot try to change the habits that are censored too quickly. That's the point. But if we are very conscient, traditional diets are not sustainable. So we must seek alternatives that help us to reduce the greenhouse gases we produce, because without that planet to live, we can enjoy all the pleasure that the same planet provides us. But which diet is better? That's interesting. So when we have to decide why that is better, this will vary greatly depending on nutritional requirements of each person. So we cannot generalize say that a diet is above another. We must also define what people would consider a diet superior to another because that diet is closer to their ideal as a person. And the last one, consider the product of our diets. If you can choose the diet that suits you the best, as long as its production does not affect our living behinds, since in all the diets that we present, there is contamination to the environment. However, if we are empathic people, we can take action in incorporate products that have environmental certified and regardless of the diets we can choose. So we will be people who are aware of our planet Earth.